folks, welcome back to yet another episode of Fresh Juice, an indie game podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tommy Fresh, and joined as always, it is...
Matty Juice. What's going on? You're really hitting those fresh juice. You're really hitting them hard. It's like, what, are we taking like an Adderall?
No, I'm trying some new inflections, I think.
Okay.
I think, to capture the younger audience, maybe.
Yeah.
We got to hit it with, I think we have the Gen Zs, the Gen Zs, as they say, over across the pond. But Gen Alpha... a little bit more difficult, so we're going to have to maybe throw out some stuff. How about this? Chicken jockey? I don't know. Is that something? Please, don't turn off the video. But we have a great show for you yet again.
Yep.
We are reviewing a game called StarVaders. Decent amount of hype around this game. Let's see if we are appropriately hyped as well. And if we like it. We're gonna tell you, but we're gonna catch up. We have PAX East next week. We're gonna get pretty amped for that, which is fun. And stick around for some listener questions and some recommendations. But first, what's up? How you been? What's new? What's going on with your life? Hit me.
Yeah, doing good. Had a good weekend. Actually, it kind of started out with I was supposed to have a dentist appointment before PAX, and I was just like, I made it months ago or whatever. And then they called and like, hey, we don't have that appointment anymore for you. Your next one is January 5th.
Whoa.
So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just try to take care of my teeth for a year.
That's crazy.
Then they called like, I don't know, a few hours after that, like, we can get you in tomorrow. So that's how my weekend started. It was just like, oh, last minute dentist appointment, whatever, everything's looking good. That's exciting stuff. I know the listeners really care.
Well, I have my own dentist stories lately, so
okay.
Right. But you finished.
So Saturday we painted the my future daughter's room. Did like a light greenish kind of thing. It's called like rooftop garden or something. It looks like I kept saying pistachio cream. I don't know why. I like that color because we're gonna make it like the Shire kind of theme, just like nature-y kind of theme, but definitely want to have like the Shire influence in there. So that was fun. And then also that night went over to Matty what do I say? Father and Mother Juice.
Yes.
That's Mother Juice. I don't want to say Mother Juice. That's weird.
Wait.
My parents.
What juice comes from the fruits.
Squeeze. Oh, okay.
The fruits. You went to go see the fruits. The oranges.
Yes. That's what I went to go see, and they had actually our cousin's dog. They're watching for 10 days. Brinley. Over. So we had Pluto and Brinley meet, and they had a great time. As always, Pluto doesn't have personal space, so eventually Brinley starts growling at him because he won't leave her alone. He's done that for a few other dogs, so he's learning. He's getting a little better with it. But that was fun. And then Sunday, what did I do Sunday? Played actually a game I'm going to talk about in the rec room on Sunday, which was a great time. And then just did some stuff around the house, starting to get ready for PAX. Got like all my clothes together, threw them in the, picked them out of the hamper. Like, I want to bring this to PAX.
Nice.
Boom, doing a wash just for that. And I think that's pretty much everything that I've been through. Had a half day at work today, which is nice. Just because we had a doctor's appointment in the afternoon. And just getting ready for PAX, getting excited, It's really cool that we have some scheduled things at PAX.
Yeah.
First time we've ever had that going, which is cool.
That is very cool. And if you're at PAX and you see us, come say hi.
Yeah, you should.
Why not?
We might have something for you too.
We probably will.
Yeah.
So no, that's awesome. It's a nice low key weekend for you.
Yeah. What about you? How was everything on your side?
Good. I mean, I'm at war with my dentist because they charged me for something that they said they were going to get pre-approved. And guess what, folks? Tommy Fresh ain't paying. They keep texting me. They're like, they text me like it's like a cycle. They'll say, hey, by the way, you owe $700. Pay at your convenience. And then the next text is, we're ready for you to schedule your next appointment. So they're trying to like maybe bring me in.
Just
like,
get you in there.
Yeah, get in there and then put the gas on me. Give our money.
Yeah.
So I'm not going there.
$700 though.
Yeah. Something
Holy
they said,
moly.
oh, we're going to pre-approve this. I came in and they did it. And they're like, oh, we didn't get that pre-approved. Your insurance said no. I was like, well, I would have made a decision not to get the thing done. Well, it was like, well, you needed it. Well, then why didn't the insurance pay? Anyway, it's you know what?
Oh my God. You know, is it oh, I guess that's a different situation, but what keeps happening with my dentist is like I'll pay a certain amount at the dentist, and then like I don't know, a week or two later I get a bill from the dentist. And then I'm like, but I just paid it. And I call them up and they're like, oh, well, we can't exactly estimate, like, get the exact number. So we just kind of estimate what it's going to cost. And then this is the insurance actually didn't cover as much. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Why hasn't this? I've been going to the same dentist for like a decade.
Yeah.
Why hasn't this happened the last 9 years?
They only do these procedures and cleanings every day, multiple times a day. You haven't really nailed a real price for it yet. Depends on how much we like you. So
we don't even know what our salaries are. All right.
Yeah.
When we get our paychecks, it's just a random number.
Yeah. We're just cleaning teeth on vibes. But hey, listen, the American healthcare system is brutal, folks. That is the biggest thing. I played Flesh and Blood all day on Saturday. That was a lot of fun. A lot of ups and downs for me, but it was a good time. I was just happy to be playing. Yesterday on Sunday, the old ball and chain, was going to a concert and staying over at her parents with her sister. So I had a pretty relaxing day. I gamed. I drank beer. I had Indian food. It was like the big three, man. It was awesome. So that was a good time. And then today I had to go to work. Our team got reported. Apparently, we don't know why, but we think it's because there was like a gas smell at the office last week, and
like
a natural gas.
Okay, all right.
And people were like, "Okay, we're gonna go outside," and we told my boss, and he's like, "Just go home and work the rest of the day at home." We're like, "Say less." It wasn't a gas leak, whatever, but they reported it. Our team and him because of that, for whatever reason.
Who like someone who saw it happen?
Yeah.
Just got up and left. What the heck?
I know. Well, so here's the thing. I think they're trying to push him out. He's been there for like 30 years. So, it's little by little. This seems like kind of the concerted effort coming to fruition to push this old geezer out. But Chris, if you're out there listening, I don't want you to go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how the politics of this office really work. I'm still relatively new. So, that was kind of fun. We thought it was because we were goofing off, which we do every day, but we're the most productive team. So, I think we earned our right to goof off a little bit.
Yeah.
If I do say so myself. It's all laughs at in our area, me and my coworkers.
Yeah. So that's crazy. Like if like your manager is like tells you to go like work from home.
Yeah.
Like that's not allowed, I guess.
Yeah. They're cool. If it was snowing, they're cool with us going home. But if perhaps there is a deadly gas in the building, absolutely not. So
well, every time you're in there, I mean,
yeah. So, yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I did have Indian and a lot of beer yesterday. So I'm surprised they didn't send us home today. Anyway, anywho, but we got a great.
Ain't nothing natural about that gas.
Yeah, you got that right, Mr. Juice. But we do have a great episode for you all, StarVaders. But we have news first. Golly, we have a freaking Discord. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's in the show notes below. Great place to hang out, submit listener questions, talk about games. There was some news. It is news. GTA 6 not till 2026 now.
Yep.
That's not indie game, but that is video games, and it's kind of like, who knows? That game's going to be $1 billion if the Switch 2 is any indicator. So,
Yeah.
I don't even know if people will want to. People will want to play it, but like, I don't know why people are so excited for the game. To be honest, GTA 6. I understand there's a huge following for that series, but at some point you're gonna be like, well, why is this one taking so long? Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It felt like there was a GTA game every other year for a hot minute, and then this one's like 20 years, not 20 years. I don't know how long it's been since GTA 5, but it's been a long while.
Yeah. I think if I had to guess, it's probably like because GTA 5 was such a hit
Mm-hmm.
and they just don't want to like mess this one up or like lose trust. And they're probably like honestly, what I think with GTA 6, I'm like, well, how can it be better than GTA 5? What else could you do? Because you could do like everything from what
Yeah.
I've seen in GTA 5, right? So I'm just like, what are they going to go to space? Like I got no idea what's gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I think they already announced the location actually, but
Oh, it's not
I
space.
think it might be Miami or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Yeah. But,
You got me excited. I was
uh,
like, I would play that.
yeah, that sounds cool, but, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, there's the pandemic there a little bit, but they're Rockstar. They've been working on it for a while. I feel like there's probably an adjustment period there, but, I don't know. I just feel like there's probably, like, internal struggles of, like, this isn't good enough yet,
Mm.
like, because they're comparing it to, like, the smash success they just had, or not just had, I guess, a decade ago or whatever that came out,
They made
had, so
Smash? No.
yeah, yeah, they did, yeah. You didn't know? Rockstar, yeah. Um,
Man, whenever the
yeah.
new Smash comes out,
Oh, yeah.
that's gonna be the end. Actually, it's not the end. I'll just play it like I played the other ones. Um,
Yeah. I'm just curious, like, what are they gonna call it? Because the last one was Ultimate. What's better than Ultimate?
um, Smash Nirvana or something like that.
Pro Edition. Oh, okay, just like,
Like
yeah,
the Enlightenment or something like that. I
sure.
think.
Yeah.
I don't know what they will. Like, Smash Ultimate is the perfect Smash game, and the Melee fans in chat, I'm sorry, but that game's really buggy, and it just doesn't have as many characters and fun things going on. So I love Melee, but Smash Ultimate, in my opinion, is the ultimate Smash game for a reason. But
Yeah.
we digress. There is Gears of War coming out too. That's big news
There
for you.
is. Yes, so on my
What?
birthday, August 26th,
They heard.
Gears of War Reloaded was announced, which is actually just a big step from Microsoft and not just Gears, because Gears of War Reloaded, which is historically, for those that don't know, it's a Microsoft exclusive. It's just been on Xbox and then, kind of moved over to PC as well as Xbox. It's going to be on PlayStation, which
Yeah.
is big deal. I don't know if it's the first game for Microsoft to do that, but I think it's the biggest game that that's made that jump over. And now people are saying, well, is Halo going to end up being over there? I think it's great. People have been asking for that specifically for Gears for a while because Gears has always had issues of like it has great population numbers in the first few years and then it just dies down and you just get that like core audience. And for multiplayer because a lot of people play Gears for single player, so um, that's fine. But yeah, I think like getting that PlayStation community in there will just be awesome, and obviously the PC community it's going to be on Steam, which will be the first time like the original Gears of War is on Steam. It's going to be like 4K, 120 FPS, all that sort of stuff, which is great. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. I was hoping for a collection because they are doing Gears of War E-Day, I think this year or maybe next year, which is like a prequel to the first game.
Mm.
So, and they've already remastered the first game in the past. It's called Ultimate Edition. which a lot of people had. I got a copy of it back there. Every time you're watching the show, there's a copy of Gears Ultimate Edition, signed by the developers. But um, yeah, so I'm excited for it. It's cool. It's coming out on my birthday. It's gonna be a few days. Probably after like baby's born. So we'll see if I have time to play it. But I'm sure that they don't do much first like month or two. So I'll probably have some time. And yeah, I'm excited. Obviously not an indie game, but I
Hey,
think a really important step for Microsoft where it's really I've seen people mention this, like it's really showing like, oh, okay, like they don't care that much about pushing consoles. It's all about the Game Pass service and just like Xbox as a service
mhm.
versus like the actual hardware. So yeah, I think this is like a big step, kind of continuing that journey.
Yeah, no, it should be really cool, and I know you're a big fan of that series, so I saw that. I was like, gotta bring that up on the pod. Now,
Yeah.
you have a quiz for me.
I do. Yes. Now this is indie game related. So this is coming from comicbook.com, posted today, May 5th, by Christopher Ricchetto. And it is the top 5 most acclaimed indie games of the past decade based on Metacritic score. So we're going to see if Tommy can, 1, name the games, and 2, guess their Metacritic score.
Oh God, I don't know if I can
Yeah.
do the Metacritic.
Out of 100, and remember these are the top 5.
The top.
So
So I
you
mean, I
probably
have
got a
to
general
measure all
idea.
like at minimum high 80s, low 90s.
Yeah,
Um.
so and obviously if you get one, and then you find out the score of that one, you might have an idea of where the others are,
Okay.
depending on what you get. I'll tell you what number,
On
if
the
it's the
list.
third one, yeah, fourth one, whatever.
Okay.
All right, so here we go, Tommy. What are the top 5 most acclaimed indie games of the past decade?
So I have to got to start off with a game I played today and yesterday and every other day for the past over a year now. Got to go with Balatro with like a 93 Metacritic.
Balatro is not on the list.
Oh man, I
It's I know, I know. I was surprised too. Balatro is
mm,
not on the list. I will look up the score for Balatro, just so you can get an idea of maybe where the others are.
okay, that will be
Um,
helpful.
yeah, so Balatro has the universal acclaim score is 90.
90. Okay,
Yes.
all
Obviously
right.
still
So
great.
we're
Um,
all north of 90.
mhm.
All right, I'm gonna go with Hades at 92.
Hades is on the list,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it is 93.
Okay, all
So,
right.
very good. You're right. You're right in that realm. It is also the number 2 game on the list, Tommy.
Oh,
This is like Family Feud, you know?
number
Do
2.
you have what does he say? Give me Hades. I just need that board behind me.
uh,
So Hades with a 93, number 2 on the list.
all right. Hades. All right, I'm gonna go Hollow Knight 91.
Hollow Knight is not on the list.
Jeez.
I know. Yeah. It's okay. It's
All
all
right,
right.
all right. What was Hollow Knight at? That's probably less critically acclaimed than Belcher.
Actually, it has a 90.
Oh, it has a 90. Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
So you're doing good.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
just
up
not in that.
there.
You're in like that top 10 range.
I gotta go Stardew Valley at 92.
Stardew Valley is not on the
What?
list.
Oh my god, it's like one of the biggest one of all time.
It has an 89
89.
rating.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
brutal. All right. Jeez. I'm
Yeah.
like right there. So
You
I
are.
mean, I gotta
You definitely. There's one of them I know.
yeah.
You just
Slay the
have
Spire 91
Slay the Spire
is not.
is not on the
Oh
list.
my god.
Slay the Spire has an 89 as well. Man, you are just hitting. You're just at 89, 90 range. You're locked in.
Dead Cells 92.
Dead Cells
Oh, God.
is not on the list.
No, wait a second. I'm just naming
Dead
my
Cells
favorites.
has a 92
What?
and technically is tied with another game on this list. I don't know why Dead Cells isn't mentioned here,
Oh,
but
interesting.
there must be some other rating that maybe they took in the user score as well, which
So we know
is
92 is the base.
yes, they did take in the user score. And actually, this other game, yes, 92 is the base. This other game had an 8.7 user score, and Dead Cells has an 8.6 user score. So
Oh,
that's how close they were of being on the list. But yeah, so good time. I think this game came out around the time of Dead Cells, similar time, probably before actually.
interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but let me see.
I gotta say, oh, I don't think this game is from the past decade.
Yes, like 4 years before. No, not 4 years. What am I saying?
Wait a second.
Oh no, same year, same year.
Wait a second. I just gotta look at
2018.
the year of this one game.
Okay.
Axiom Verge.
Axiom Verge is not on the
Oh,
list.
jeez.
But that's a good guess. You got this. You got this.
All right, I need a genre. I do need a genre.
Okay.
Because
Genre,
there's no more deck builders that it could possibly be. Right?
you need a this game is a platformer.
Celeste.
Celeste is on the list.
Yes.
And what's the score?
That's the 92.
That is the 92.
Okay, so that's
There
number
you
5.
go. That's number
We
5.
have 5 and 2.
5 and 2. And
Do
yep.
they count Minecraft? No, Minecraft's not from the
No.
past decade.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can ask me also if the game is from the past decade, in case you just want to throw out game titles.
Okay.
And I'll let you know.
I'm trying to think of what Super Meat Boy. That's like pretty old though.
That's prior.
Yeah. Enter the Gungeon.
Enter the Gungeon is not on the list.
Okay. Are there any roguelikes?
Are there any roguelites? Let's see. No. There are no roguelites left. So one of them is a story game. The other one is an RPG. And the other one is, I don't know what type of game this is. I just know of the game. It's a top-down RPG. So they got 2 RPGs and like a story 3D platformer kind of game, I guess. That's dark. It's one of them is a sequel to another great indie game that is before that decade. There.
Oh, Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars is not on the list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I can. Do you want me to give you more hints?
Geez, I'm trying to think because like that won best indie game one year, right? Unless I'm like mistaking that for a different
game. Yeah, Sea of Stars I think did win best indie, but did not. I guess have.
I need another hint. I need another hint.
All right.
And then story.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint to the name of the game.
Okay.
What's the opposite of over?
Oh, Undertale.
Undertale. There it is.
I thought that was older than it was.
Yeah. It was 2015. So right in the beginning there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Undertale. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's the RPG.
Yes. That's one of them. Yeah. Top down.
What is
that's got a 93, by the way.
What is the name of the? It was on the Switch. Man.
What this game? If you're thinking of the number 1 game, this one is far above the others. 4 points above the second place,
which was 93.
Yeah.
Or 92.
It was 93.
93. What?
Yeah. So
what the hell?
And This is what I've never played. We talked a little bit about this before the show. I was just telling him that I had a quiz for him, folks. Don't worry, I didn't reveal the
Well,
answers.
yeah, I think it's pretty. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I just gotta wait.
This
Um,
this game won Best Narrative, Best Independent Game, Best Role Playing Game, and Fresh Indie Game.
Octopath Traveler.
Octopath Traveler is not on the list.
That might not even be indie, to be honest. Hyperlight Drifter.
No, Hyper Light Drifter's not on the list. I'm sorry.
Oh boy, I'm really striking out.
All right, so the 60s and 70s, like what did people do? Where'd they go? They went to the
disco.
Yeah, they did.
Wait, what the hell?
Oh, no. I thought you'd get it after that.
Disco. What? Why am I blanking? I feel really dumb right now.
No, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Okay, that's the first word of the game.
Disco.
And the second word is the name of a movie from 2013, okay? Starring Matt Damon, Jodie Foster, Charlton Copley, and the plot of the movie. In the year 2154, the very wealthy live on a man-made space
Disco Elysium.
There it is.
I never played. I knew it existed. That was that higher than all those other games.
Did you know that movie?
Yeah, I did know the movie.
Okay. I figured you would.
Well, it's Charlton Copley. I was like District 9, because he was also in the A-Team remake. Yeah, okay.
That's number one.
That was number one?
Yep, 97.
That's the RPG.
Yeah. And the other game is the fourth game on the list, which is the sequel to a very popular indie game that has a lot of darkness, and it's also a game that you would do at a party where you have to bend low.
Limbo. So is Limbo the answer?
Limbo is the
first
game.
one. And then I forget what the name of the second one was.
It's Inside.
Inside, yes.
Got a 93. Yeah, no, it's all right. Yeah, this is a tough one because there's so many. I mean, you were rattling off like amazing games, but these are just like better by a fraction.
Yeah. Oh man.
And I didn't. I told him before the show. I was like, I didn't realize Disco Elysium. I knew it was popular. I didn't realize it had like that much love, because that's like entering like Ocarina of Time territory.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That might have to be a retro review at some point, I guess. I mean,
yeah. You've never played it either.
Yeah.
Guess, right?
Yeah, I never did. No. I mean, it's not really the genre I would necessarily, because it's more of a JRPG, right? So like, it's not really something that I gravitate towards, but for the sake of the pod, I would gravitate. I mean, it's 97. Like, you gotta give it that. So, hey. We made it. We made it.
Took a while there.
Yeah.
Sorry. I should have been better with the clues. So
no. Disco Elysium was would have been an impossible pull for me. I should have guessed Celeste, like off the bat, and then I should have guessed Undertale. Should have known that was within the past decade.
Yeah.
And
you got Hades.
And then Inside, I just don't really think of those games as indie games because they just kind of like have been really in the ether for me.
Yep.
Just like they just exist. Nothing indie about them. They just are games. And that's on me. I'm gonna work on myself. But
it is kind of true. Like with Limbo, I remember when I first played it, I think it was on like my iMac or something. Back when I was like, I didn't even know indie games were a thing. So yeah, like the only reason I can like remember that it's an indie game is because I know Inside won a bunch of like awards, like indie awards. And so I was like, oh, right, Limbo's an indie. So yeah, it's kind of like before I feel like we really started classifying these games. Yeah. So
I mean,
There you have it,
that's
folks.
a high bar because Balatron's 90. I'm pretty sure Blueprints is hanging around 90 right now. So I was like, oh, it's got to be like games like that, and then it was like they really reached for the stars. So
92 for Blueprints.
92 right now. I mean,
Yeah.
that's tied with
Yeah, just a
Dead
lower
Cells
user
and
score.
yeah.
Little bit, yeah.
Understandable. It's a puzzle game. So, um, speaking of the stars, let's
Yeah.
invade them.
Let's do it.
And we have StarVaders this week. This is a deck builder roguelike developed by Pengonauts, published by Joystick Ventures and Playworks. It's on Steam. $24.99. A little steep. 10% off until May 14th, though. Pilot a powerful mech to fight off the alien invasion in this ultimate fusion of deck building and grid-based tactics. Discover game-breaking combos, rewind time to alter your fate, and protect the future of humanity in this endlessly replayable roguelike. We will determine that now. So, starting off the bat, the gameplay. In terms of the deck building roguelike elements here, there's not a lot of new things happening on the deck building side, right? You choose a start out load or starting loadout with
Choose a start out load.
Oh, man, it's been a long day. I was thinking about my poor boss who got reported. Anyway, starting deck, loadout, whatever you want to call it. So you start off with one kind of character, and they have a certain kind of deck that you play. But as you go through the acts, which there are 3 of them, you will be able to upgrade cards, add new cards, and also gain artifacts, which will be kind of like your relics from Slay the Spire. These kind of, what do you call them? Static abilities. So that will kind of be there for your whole game. And each round, you are going to enter a grid-based kind of field where your guy is down at the bottom, and then you have your enemies coming down slowly, much like Space Invaders, hence the name Star Invaders. And it's turn-based. You have 3 mana. They're called Heat Sink, that you can spend on your cards each turn. And then you can also go even further beyond the 3 mana. And when you do, you will burn that card and basically make it useless for the rest of the game, even if you draw it. Now, there are certain upgrades you can give to cards that will be like immune from being burnt, or will heal itself from burn, etc. As the enemies come down and try to attack you, they're not trying to deal damage to you. They're just trying to get into your safe area, right? Once they're in their safe area, if they last a whole turn there, they will deal a doom to you. And you have up to 5 doom that you can take as this kind of damage. Once you hit 5 doom, you die, your run's over, you've got to start over and do this again and try not to die the same way. And you are mostly destroying these enemies by shooting them. They'll have shields. You're also moving around the grid as well with cards. So this is where this game is really going to shine in terms of gameplay, and also doing something that we don't really see a lot in this genre, where it is going to be this interesting blend of building this really cool deck that has a certain kind of synergy that you want to focus on, and also being tactical and trying to like build together a game plan that will prevent you from getting doom and win the round and move on to the next round, and then hopefully move on to the boss at the end of the first act, and the boss at the end of the second act, and then the final boss at the end of the third act, to unlock more stuff for you to repeat these runs, much like any other kind of deck builder roguelike. Now, there is no like spiderweb style map like you would see in something like what was the one that we played that was like Tetris, like Slay the Spire, and then also I'm already blanking on that game. It was really
Ember
good.
Ward.
Ember Ward. So you're not going to see a lot of that. You're just going to get an option of 3 different things, which in a way is kind of like a map without you actually seeing it. You'll have up to 3 different choices, and it'll tell you the kind of reward that you can get, as well as chances to like reduce the doom that you have, because doom carries over throughout the run. And the options are like, oh, when you win this battle, you'll get the choice of an artifact, or you'll get the choice of a rare card, or you'll be able to upgrade a card, or you'll just be able to just pick a new card for your deck. And then there's one shop every act that you get to go to and buy some stuff, whether it's new artifacts or upgraded cards or stuff like that. And that's just kind of the gameplay loop here. It's really, really, it was for me very addicting. I felt like this was such a fun take on this genre. Now, I did play the demo like a year ago, maybe even longer. It was around when Balatro came out, and Local Thunk actually had tweeted about it, and I was like, oh, I'll check this out. And it was a lot of fun, the demo. Kind of forgot about it, and then it came out. I'm pretty happy to be playing it now. And I really think this game is doing like a lot right, and I can't really find much wrong. And I felt myself kind of falling into like, oh, I want to unlock everything. I want to figure out what these other kinds of combos will be like. Once you get like a good synergy going, you're like, this is so sweet. I was messaging you last night. I did like a push build, right? Basically, I had a bunch of cards that pushed enemies, right? You can, rather than attack them, you can push them into each other and they'll deal damage to them. So you'll have certain things that will get benefits if you push somebody. Boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden you have like a whole synergistic deck, and it was a ton of fun. And, it makes you think about how you're going to deal with each enemy wave and each boss. The bosses are very cool. I like how the final boss of the third act changes, and it's always a really interesting kind of battle that's kind of a different take on what you are already expecting from this kind of Space Invaders type game. So big fan of this gameplay. I mean, I think, obviously it's a genre after my own heart. So this game was kind of made for me. So I'm more interested to hear about how you felt about it as someone who really wasn't into this genre, but played Balatro, played Slay the Spire, enjoyed them. How are you thinking, or how are you feeling about StarVaders?
Yeah, I think yeah, I was gonna kind of bring that up where like this is I agree that there's not really much wrong with the game. Like I can't really point to anything in particular and be like, they're not doing this right. Like they're doing so many things really well, especially teaching someone like me that doesn't really play a lot of these kind of games. And this one is like I would say a little bit more involved because you also have the grid you have to kind of worry about versus like Balatro, right? So I appreciate like a great tutorial and just teaching you the ropes, and there's plenty of like text for like what each item does or what each card does, and then also you can hover over new enemies and it kind of lets you know how they behave. Um, so yeah, I think they do a good job like kind of educating people like me of like how this game works. And like at the end of the day, it's like it's pretty simple. You know, uh there's cards that fire, there's like cards that move you. There's like tactic cards, I think too. I don't know if that's a firing card, but anyway, it's a pretty simple design. And I really do like the heat system. I think is interesting, where like it's essentially like your mana, but then you can like overheat yourself, so you can play kind of like it kind of feels like you can play an extra card, which is cool. Like every turn, if you want to, you don't have to. But like if you can essentially you have like 3 mana and you can play 4 we can play things worth 4 mana. So you kind of get like an extra mana piece every turn. So I like that. I think like that was cool. I actually didn't realize like when you have 3 out of 3 heat, I would like end my turn in the beginning because I was like, oh, I don't want to overheat.
Hmm.
And then I was like, oh no, like you can actually like you can play an overheated card and it still has the effect, which is cool. And also, I think this game has like great pacing, um, because as someone that doesn't really play this genre, um, too much, or like, I'm not like too like involved with it. Um, I think that as I would play each level, like there'd be times where I'm like, okay, like I've had enough of like this run for now. Like I'm gonna take a break. And then I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm at, like, the boss level," or, "Oh, it's the shop." I feel like it had a good amount of, like, pacing where, like, these runs didn't feel too long. Like, I my first run I did, I beat. I don't know if that's, like, intentional for, like, game design, but I was like, "Oh, wow," like, I didn't realize that was the end of the run already. So for someone like me, I'm like, I like that like it doesn't feel like these are too long. And that was also on like the easiest difficulty, and then you unlock like the invasion difficulty, which is like the middle one. And that one I got to the boss. I think I died at the boss. But I still got there on my first like run with it. So yeah, I think like the pacing is pretty good, and it feels like there's enough like rewards along the way, which is great. And also, it is pretty easy to like build those synergies. I think they do a good job of like pretty much every run I did. um I could have like kind of specced into like any sort of like build, where I was like, oh, I could what do I want to do this turn? Like I didn't feel like it was so much like RNG based, like maybe in the shop, things like that, and like the cards that you can get, like there's a little bit of RNG involved with how you're building the decks. But I do think that almost every run I did, I could have been like, oh, I could have did like I don't know, like a bomb build and just have a ton of bombs all over the place. I gotta have starting bombs and like you just kind of build it around that, or maybe you have a deck that just like fires a lot, has a bunch of different firing, diagonal firing and all that sort of stuff. Or push build. Like I feel like almost every time I was like, oh, I could have like went and did that build. So I think that's great as well. Like it doesn't feel like sometimes in like Balatro, for example, right? Like you're like, well, I'm stuck with like this is the hand I'm playing until I beat this run. And like it's not always like that, but like that's kind of how Balatro is built. And I appreciate that in this game I can kind of, go different ways with how I want to play. So, yeah, I was a fan of the gameplay. The weird thing for me is like, I don't know if I'm going to like go back to this game a lot. I'll probably go back and play like a little bit more, but I just didn't get like the addictive side of it for me. But I'm like, yeah, this is a really well made game. I had a good time playing it. Um, but I don't have like that Balatro, addiction where I'm just like I want to go back in and play like right away. Maybe I don't know if this game's planning to come out on mobile, but I could see maybe playing it on mobile would be solid. And I think it would work on, they'd have to move the layout around a little bit, but yeah, from a gameplay standpoint, though, I think they did a great job and kept it simple, but kept it. It can get like complex, kind of the builds that you do, which is cool. So yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
the other characters, I think, also kind of like I beat my first run too, like you mentioned. It wasn't like easy, but like it was. I mean, the first difficulty is relatively easy,
hmm,
but it's when you get to the other characters and the different loadouts that like the starting loadouts
yeah,
that are like pretty like more like they're powerful, but they're more difficult to kind of like make it work, right? And that's where that kind of a certain kind of like complexity that you get in like Balatro, where you have a certain kind of deck that is like different and has powerful things about it, like the painted deck, which only 4 jokers, but your hand size is +2. Like,
mm,
yeah, that's clearly powerful, but you're going to be down a joker, right?
yeah,
So like, there's definitely that kind of uh, thing going on here with the different characters. Now, I've only unlocked the one what do you call it? The one class, the gunner class.
Yeah, same
Um,
here.
if you beat invasion, you unlock the next one. So I was just trying to
Oh,
unlock all the next all the characters in the gunner class just to see what they were like. So my next thing is to figure out what the next class is, because I want to see how that differs, because that opens up a whole nother bag of hammers with like how the complexity can go. So yeah. I mean, I got the addicting thing here, but this is more my kind of game. So I
yeah,
understand why you wouldn't per se,
yeah.
but
What? A whole nother bag of hammers?
oh, you never heard that saying?
Is that is that a saying?
I mean,
I always heard a whole nother can of worms,
that's a saying.
but a whole nother bag of hammers. Wow.
I mean, I've been saying that one a long time.
Have
So
you heard anyone else say it?
I mean, I definitely
Or are you
hear
trying
it
to
on
start something?
podcasts. Like I definitely like Tuesdays with Stories. I feel like Mark Norman's always saying like a whole other bag of hammers. I think that's a saying.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I was hit with it. I was like, oh wow, whole other bag of
like a bunch of
hammers.
hammers.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but let's get to the story though, because
Hmm.
this is actually a more story focused game than most in the genre. I will say you have this kind of mysterious being, like this kind of cosmic, scary lady with eyes all over her that is kind of menacing you at the end of every run, whether you die or you beat the final act. And you're learning a little bit more about what she is and what the real threat is as you go through. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it, to be honest, right now. But I feel like every single time it would kind of eke out some more kind of like special sauce for you to kind of like consume about what this world is. And I do think the world building is pretty cool, because these these gunners, or these other characters, all have a pretty, you know, unique personality about them. It is, and we'll talk about the art style. It is a anime style, but it's kind of like that squirrel girl, I guess, kind of anime
Yeah.
style, which I like. And I think that it's kind of fun to, because you pick a character, but they're in this mech, right?
Hmm.
So it is kind of fun to just like think about like, oh well, this kind of character is just like hanging in this mech, but because this character is the way that they are, their like starting deck is going to make them behave differently.
Hmm.
Um, oh, also one major mechanic we forgot about in the gameplay is the rewind button.
Yeah.
You get these rewinds. We're gonna rewind right now back to the gameplay for a second. You get these
Hey.
3 rewinds, an act, I believe, and basically what it is you can restart your turn no matter how many cards you played, and then you draw up a new hand, and or you could just like restart it right away, draw up a new hand, if you don't like the hand that you have, and or if you don't like the way you played out your turn, that's a good way to do it. So
Mm.
it's a pretty cool mechanic as well. That's something pretty unique, rather than just like a reshuffle or a an undo button.
Yeah.
No, we're going back to the beginning. So I did like that.
Yeah, yeah, same here. Actually, at first, I just thought it was like a reshuffle button. There's tooltips, but I'm dumb. So when I did hit it and it like reset the whole turn, I was like, oh, like I'm gonna use this more often. So yeah, it's a really cool mechanic. And then as far as the story goes, you kind of covered everything there. I really do like that. They kind of get you um, give you a little bit more personality. Like you see, I mean, we'll talk about the art, but like you see the character you chose like on screen when you're playing. So it's like kind of like, I guess, their view out of the mech, basically, which is cool. And it's kind of, it's animated. So I like that they kind of connect you a little bit more to the character. You're not just playing like, you know, just some random mech, right? And like you could have just chose like, oh, I play as the red mech, or something like that. So yeah, it was cool. They kind of attached like backstories and I assume like with the other characters. Well, I did play as one other character, but yeah, they have like different play styles, and then I'm sure the different classes, have different play styles as well. Um, so that's all kind of tying into the story there. And then I also just like that it's um, like like Space Invaders has a story,
Yeah.
right? I mean, basically, there's things invading from space, and you have to destroy them. So it kind of gives you those vibes for sure, where you're like, oh, this is like these things are evil, and I'm trying to protect something. Um, so yeah, I didn't expect a lot of story. There's even like cutscenes,
Mm-hmm.
which is that's pretty cool. Did not expect that. I was like, oh wow, didn't really think I needed that, but it was pretty cool. But yeah, I think the art is like fantastic in the game. But what do you think, Tommy?
Yeah, the visuals here, I mean, it is very vibrant. It is, really, really fun colors and dynamic. These cards don't feel like cards, which is kind of cool. Like it feels like like you're almost holding them, and the way they move, it's like really snappy. I enjoyed that. There's the kind of different kinds of junk cards which you even get into, which are kind of neat as well. I just saw one or two on the screen right now if you're watching the YouTube or watching on Spotify. The the junk cards are kind of neat. They come in a whole bunch of different colors, and obviously there's some synergies with junk cards, but they can also be a real pain in the ass. But the character design's really really neat. The enemy design's cool. It leans into the kind of tropiness of enemies sometimes, but not in a bad way, right? You see the blob, you know it's gonna break into a bunch of different enemies. And
Yeah.
that's kind of neat. And then you have like the snake ones or the dragon ones that will come down in diagonals. That's really sweet as well. The there's listen, I mean the boss levels so cool, and like the way they look. Like obviously just from a gameplay perspective, they're a lot of fun, but my favorite boss level that I played so far was it's a little bit of a spoiler, I guess, but it's like a chess match.
Mhm.
And that was so neat, and it just looked cool, and you're like, this is kind of turning everything on its head from what you've been doing the past 3 acts of gameplay, which I really enjoyed, and kind of challenging what these enemies are really like, as well. Really, really good looking game. There's no real complaints here. I mean, even if this is not really your style, which the anime style isn't really my thing, but it can't deny that this doesn't look right, or can't deny that this looks good, or doesn't look good. I don't know. It looks
Can't
good.
deny it.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
deny. I can't deny how good this looks. How about that? That's
There
actually
you
what
go.
makes sense. But you know, it's clean. It's easy to read. The, I felt like the heads up display or the what do you even call it? The layout here
Yeah.
is
UI.
the UI. Yeah, the UI
Yeah.
is easy to read. It has some kind of like with the points that you get every round. It makes it feel like this is an arcade game too, which I always like. This because Space Invaders, I want to feel like that kind of vibe as well. So that's pretty neat. And yeah, I was a big fan here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you brought up like the arcade kind of feel, and I think like those your hand and like those the end turn button and like the reshuffle reset button, um, they immediately reminded me of like, oh, it's like I'm playing like an arcade game. These big buttons on screen. But yeah, I really enjoyed the art style for this one. I'm also, historically not super into like the anime kind of look, but it doesn't like, it's not hitting you over the head with, anime. I feel like it's not like, if you saw a screenshot from this game, you might not say it was anime.
Hmm.
But if you play a little bit of the gameplay and you see some of the like the text pop ups and things like that, you're like, oh, this is like anime inspired. Um, so yeah, that's the interesting thing with the art. But it doesn't obviously take away from it. I think it works really well. I mentioned earlier that like your character that shows on screen, like they'll actually like their facial expressions will change and like the background and things will change based on what's happening on the grid, which is a really nice touch. I also really like the way that the overheating kind of effect looks really good. That heat bar that fills up, when you kind of use all your mana. And also like the enemy design was pretty good. It was easy to get an understanding of like which ones were shielded or like which ones you should probably kill first. And then the whole like kind of grid design wasn't it actually like gave me just like Tetris sort of vibes because
Hmm.
like maybe it's probably just the way like it's laid out and obviously they're moving down towards you. Here's one of those cutscenes I was talking about as
Yeah.
well, which is really cool. But yeah, so I think yeah, it's good. It's good
It's
stuff, man. Dude, the art's really interesting. So and I think it would be great like as a mobile game. It kind of almost has like a mobile gamey kind of feel to it. It's probably just because of the big buttons, but um
yeah, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I think it works really well and again kind of helped with the tutorial. Like the art was just easy to understand. It wasn't like overwhelming. Other than like some like item descriptions or like, things like that. I'm like, wow, this is like two full sentences of stuff I got to remember. Um but yeah, other than that, awesome stuff here. Awesome stuff.
Sweet, sweet. And when it comes to
Yeah.
the sound design, really liked it. Sounds great. Some of the battle music was awesome. I mean,
Mm,
like especially in the first act, I think is when my favorite song would be playing, where it's like you'd hear this like woodblock kind of like beat going in the background, and I was like, okay, it's like kind of techno-y battle music. Nothing wrong with that. This is a Space Invaders themed roguelike deck builder. That's what I would expect. Is it music that I would be like, oh, that's StarVaders? I don't know. But the more I
mhm.
play it, yes. That one particular track in particular, I think. So really liked it. I was bumping to it. And, it's not all my favorite. I don't like the main screen music as much. That's a little kind of too anime-y for me in
Mhm.
terms of the music style. But once I got into the battle music, all was well in the world. So, you know,
Yeah.
that's where I fall on. There's not a lot to say, but there were some awesome tracks.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the battle music's great. And this might be just because I've been playing a lot of Poke MMO recently, but I'm like, oh, it kind of like gave me Pokemon-ish vibes. Like I could see it as like a Game Boy kind of game music. But yeah, I think the sound, the music's great. I also agree, yeah, sometimes like in the menus, it didn't just sound as good as like when you were in battles. Um so yeah, definitely agree with you there. And then yeah, there's not like a lot of sound effect sort of stuff going on, like you're firing bullets and things like that. And you have the enemies, making their death sounds, they're metal, or like they're squishy, like the blob, but not really like hitting you over the top with it. It's very subtle. So um, yeah, thought it was good sound design. Doesn't take away from the game and was yeah, I was fine with it. I did really like the battle music was the best. So agree with you there.
Yeah, awesome. And
Yeah,
performance wise, I played it on both Steam Deck and PC. Played great on both. Had no issues. How about you?
yeah. I played on the deck and no issues at all. Worked really really well.
On the deck? You brought your PC out there?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Oh.
It's actually my PC's in the deck.
Oh, how
So
about that? How about
yeah,
that? That is going to bring us to our ratings. Our ratings are as follows. Certified Fresh Juice. These are our S tier games. Baltro, Norbapalok, Preserve, A Steel. These are good games. Not the greatest, but really good, and we recommend them. These are games like Ballionaire, Crypt Custodian, The Cub. B tier is Get On Sale. These are games that aren't perfect. You might want to wait till they're on sale, but they have some good qualities, and we would probably recommend them if you're willing to shell out the dough or wait for it to be on sale. These are games like Wizard with a Gun and Hellskate. And then after that, we have Manager Special. These are games we didn't really like, but there's maybe a glimmer of hope for them if it's free to play or on a deep discount and you just really like that genre. And finally, Spoiled Milk are games that we personally don't think anybody should play. I'm not going to even juke anybody with this game. This was a textbook, Tommy Fresh, certified fresh juice. Really love this game. I'm going to play the hell out of it even more, especially on the Steam Deck. Probably going to be playing it this weekend at PAX on some downtime in the Airbnb. It is so much fun. I'm so excited to see what the other mechs do and, the different kind of card pools that you get access to. That was the most exciting thing about Slay the Spire and other games of that ilk. So really excited to continue to explore StarVaders. There is no shortage of deck builder roguelikes out there, but there is a shortage of ones that really nail it, and I think this is one.
Yeah, I am with you. I'm giving this a certified fresh juice, and this is a weird one for me because I thought about it for quite a bit because I mentioned earlier that like I don't I probably will go back and play, but like I don't know if it's going to be a game I'm addicted to.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think like a certified fresh juice needs to be a game that you're addicted to.
Yeah.
It just like there's nothing I can really take away from this game. They do so many things well, and they got someone like me like invested in these runs. Where looking at the gameplay, I'm like, I could like this game, but also I was thinking like this game could also end up being like too complex for like me, just because I don't really play these kind of games. So they did a great job with that. So yeah, I'm giving this a certified fresh juice. I would recommend this game to people. Um, especially if you like, deck builders, I think I can even see as someone that doesn't really play a lot of them. I can see like that this is trying to bring something a little bit more unique, and they're trying something different with this game. So I applaud them for that, and that is a double certified fresh juice. I feel like we need like a bell to
Ding, ding,
ring
ding, ding,
or
ding, ding,
something.
ding,
Yeah,
ding,
like when we
ding.
double it up
How
there.
about just a squeeze?
Yeah, yeah. I'll have oranges on standby. Yeah.
Oh boy. Hey, it's been a good year. It's been a good year so far. Let's keep it
Yeah.
rolling. Next week, however, we'll be recapping our time at PAX East, talking about the cool games we demoed there, some highlights and some stories and you were talking about your future daughter's room being like a pistachio cream color. I'm ready for a cannoli next week at Mike's
Oh,
Pastries
yeah.
in
Yeah.
Boston. Oh, I've been thinking
Yeah.
about it. I was
I've been thinking about that, and like I love getting like the icy at PAX,
oh
just like walking around.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
why. I'm just like, man, I look forward to that.
I usually look forward to the chicken and rice food truck, which
Yeah.
is just like the best deal. Like all the food trucks are like way too expensive.
Yeah.
Chicken and rice is expensive, but like you get like a mound of food,
Yeah.
which is nice. So gonna be fun. We do have listener questions. These come from the Discord. Please check it out. First one comes from the question bot himself, Capolo. If you guys were not doing a podcast about video games and card games, myself, what would you guys podcast about?
Well, so I don't know if he means like together or like
I guess we can answer
separate.
individually or together.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Individually, I mean, I've listened to like tech podcasts. Like I follow a lot of techie kind of stuff. And I'm not the like smartest person to be having a podcast about tech, but I used to make YouTube videos that would like give opinions on like the latest iPhone updates or whatever, and I had a lot of fun doing that. So probably something in that realm. I don't know what it would be exactly, but that could be cool. Um, or even like potentially like a podcast about like learning something new in tech.
Mm.
Like, oh, I'm learning. I'm gonna log my learnings as a podcast
I
or something like that. But together, I don't know. I mean, not gaming related. It
mean,
would be
Kmore in chat said,
yeah.
obviously
Ah,
beer, which
yes.
would be fun.
Yeah. You know a lot more about beer than me. I just
Yeah,
like drinking it.
well, I mean, I like drinking it too. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
I honestly would love to do a movie podcast.
Oh
There
yeah.
was a time in my life back was like community college, myself and our cousin Danny Boy would go see a new movie every week at midnight on Thursday. Or I guess midnight on Friday morning. So like we're always like seeing a movie if it was good or if it was bad. So
Yeah.
like that is we wanted to do a podcast called Ride Home Reviews where
I
we
remember.
record
Yeah.
on the way home. We didn't really have the tech at that point. I think now like that tech is like in everybody's car, every mukbanger's car out
Yeah.
there. So like there's no
Whoa.
all right, you know. So there's no reason that that couldn't happen now. But yeah, that and then together, beer is cool. I think like a hanging out pod is always fun, just
Yeah.
chatting, shooting the shit. So
Yeah.
like that's
And
like kind of like something I like too.
we also for a brief moment in time, we did have a podcast about something else.
What was it? What am I thinking of?
The Wendigo
Oh, the
Boys.
Wendigo Boys. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a special interest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that
Yeah,
was with our buddy Bags as well.
and Dan.
And Dan,
Yeah.
yes. So that was
That's
yeah,
one that
that was a cool one.
my wife wants me to restart the
Yeah.
Wendigo Boys.
I had
Listen,
fun doing it. I like looking up stuff and learning about these like things.
yeah. Well, the
It's
problem
pretty
was we tried to do it in person, which is
yeah,
not possible. So,
yeah,
um, we have this down to a science, which is good.
yeah.
Next question does come from Kmore, who asks, "What difficulty do you start a game on? Usually, for me, I start on easy to enjoy the story, and then replay on hard."
I usually will just play on like the normal difficulty. I don't usually like to go to easy just because like I do like having a little bit of a challenge like throughout the story. I feel like um depending on the game at least, but like I feel like sometimes the struggle is like part of the story,
Mhm.
you know? Um but yeah, I usually do that and then like if I really like the game, I'll do like like a new game plus or I'll play it on hard mode or like insane or whatever you want to call like the hardest one just to see if I can do it. That's how, I'm like really interested in replaying a game is if I play it on a harder difficulty. Usually I just play it through like the normal difficulty and then when I beat it, I'm like, all right, I beat that game on. And sometimes the hard difficulty isn't unlocked until you beat it on normal anyway. So I don't know if I'd be able to start with that, but yeah, that's usually what I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Tom? Yeah.
It depends on the game. Like a roguelike, I'm always going to do the easiest difficulty first to get a feel for it. And then kind of, I want to beat every like ascension or whatever
Hmm.
after that. But I like, there are certain games where like the default will be normal and then it will give you the option for the easiest. And I usually, when it's like that, I don't do it. Right? I'm like, all right, just give
Hmm.
me the normal, average Joe kind of experience. If that's too hard, whatever, I'll go to the easy. But usually, it's right in my sweet spot. So, that's how I like to enjoy my games. Now,
Yeah.
last question comes from my wife, Arcarp, who asks, "What is a genre of games that you guys would like to explore more, or think you should explore more?"
A genre of games. I think that we should explore more puzzle games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we played some interesting kind of puzzly sort of games. Like I consider Ember Ward kind of almost like puzzly sort of,
Mm,
even though it is more tower defense. But um, yeah, I don't know. There could be some good puzzle ones out there. It might be, the tough thing is too with like some genres, it might be tough to like get a full episode out of. Like how much can you talk about? Like I don't know, like
yeah.
if you were reviewing like chess, like I don't know how much could you.
Yeah.
Dude, it was awesome when the bishop was like
We
going
used to be a
diagonal.
chess game podcast. I don't know if
Yeah,
you remember that. It was like a couple chess games
yeah,
in 1 month.
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Um, we did give a
But yeah.
certified fresh juice to a puzzle game, Preserve, which
Oh
which
yeah,
we had a lot to say about, which was nice. Puzzle games, I agree that would be fun to do more of. I mean, it's kind of a universal language too for
yeah,
gamers. Uh, I honestly like this is kind of more of this is a genre that we should do more of because it's a popular genre. It's also one that we don't really play a lot of anyway, and it will challenge us to kind of really figure out what makes them good, right? And I think that top 5 that you did, I'm going to just
yeah,
keep leading on. That top 5 you did made it obvious that at least myself, I don't play enough RPGs, right? Like I think maybe
yeah.
that is like a genre that should be more like your classic turn-based RPGs. I think it should be, you know, um especially with like the advent of Claire Obscure, that's
Oh yeah,
obviously like, really popping off right now, like probably a front runner for game of the year already. So, um, that's something that I think we should look out for more of.
yeah. I'm with you on that. Especially, yeah, I was watching some Claire Obscure earlier, and I'm like, man, this game looks wild.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy I was watching turned to a giant fat guy and started flying around the map.
Oh,
Like just and he's like in his underwear. Like I don't
oh,
know, I don't know what's going on.
I
Like I
think
was
I
just
saw
like,
that
oh, he's
clip
a big
too.
yeah, he's like a big fat guy. I'm like, oh, that's like interesting. He must like attack things, have like heavier attacks. All of a sudden, he just kind of floats off the ground, starts flying around. I'm like, what is going on
I saw
in
it
this
too.
game?
Honestly, thought it was like a Dark Souls mod or something like that.
Right?
I was
That's
like,
what it
"What's
looked
going
like.
on?"
Yeah, it looks like a meme. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but it does look pretty cool. So I'm with you. Yeah, RPGs for sure. Puzzle RPGs. That's what we need.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ooh, some genre bending. Now, we're going to say goodbye, but first, we're going to take a little visit to a place we like to call the Rec Room, where we recommend something that perhaps isn't an indie game. What do you have to recommend this week?
So I am recommending a game. I don't know if it's indie. I believe it is, but this is actually something that, unfortunately, as you're listening to this, if you're listening when the day it comes out, you can't actually play it right now. But it's a game called Arc Raiders. So this is a game that was announced a few years ago. I've been following it for a bit. Follow them on Twitter and just get. They weren't doing a lot of updates, but um, was aware of the game, and then I guess recently they had a play test where it only lasted like 4 or 5 days, and this game just like blew up. So a lot of people have been like talking about like this game Marathon, which is from Bungie, which is an extraction shooter. But people aren't really like super into it. Well, this game, Arc Raiders, is also an extraction shooter, but it's third person. It's kind of almost feels chiller. It reminds me of like The Last of Us. For those of you out there who've played like The Last of Us multiplayer, it gives me those vibes. It looks amazing. The gunplay is great. Um, and yeah, I'm not super into like these extraction games. I've played them, but I've never really like found one where I can get like really into it. I think this game it could be a game I get like really into. Like they're doing everything right. And it just feels really good, and it's not super complicated. I look at games like Tarkov, and that it's just too complicated for me. It's
Mhm.
definitely not too complicated. So keep your eyes peeled for Arc Raiders, ARC Raiders, and I think they'll probably do another play test. Hopefully, they'll do a an open beta or something, but people want them to be like, just drop the game right now in early access. Like it's ready. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed my time with it, and I wish I could play more of it, but unfortunately the playtest is over.
Yeah, I was just looking it up. It's like not necessarily indie, but it's not AAA. It's owned by
Yeah.
Nexon, which
Oh,
makes
right.
like
Okay.
Maple Story and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
not quite AAA, but but it looks really
Yeah.
cool. It does.
Yeah, and this is the developer from the Finals. For those who are familiar
hmm,
with that game, it's like an FPS game. I've never played it, but I know it's got like a pretty dedicated community. So
I used to get stressed out about them
yeah,
every
man.
semester, brother.
Yeah.
Stupid joke. And I'm gonna keep moving on. My recommendation is Rogue Words. It's a indie or not indie game. It might be indie. It is a mobile game. It is Scrabble roguelike.
Oh.
Yeah. It's fun. It's like you go through each round. You got like X amount of words to play to hit X amount of points. You can upgrade your tiles. You can get like relics to boost certain scores and also get potions to use. It's pretty fun. So yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. It's if you like Scrabble, you like roguelikes, check it out.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
I don't.
And see
It's
if
on
it's on
iOS. I'm
Android.
not sure. It has to be on the Android, right?
No,
It's not just iOS.
I don't see it. Oh no.
Well, Rogue Words. Get it on your iPad or something. If you don't have an iPhone, but hey, it's been another great episode. Another double certified fresh juice in the books. Squeezy, squeezy. My name's Tommy Fresh. You can find me at Fresh Buds Pod on Blue Sky. I have another podcast called Fresh and Buds. Check it out. We had a banging episode last week. We had Joshua Scott, the head judge and rule maker of Flesh and Blood, the card game. Coolest dude ever. He was so much fun to chat with. That episode's cooking right now. This week we have Majin Bay on, former Legends of Runeterra streamer, now like full-time Fabarino dude. A really cool guy as well. And in the future, it's almost 200 episodes over there. So check that out. Another great episode of this podcast, though, where you can find us at Fresh Juice Pods. Where can people find you?
Find me at Matty Gorm, Gorm. I was streaming on Twitch and played a little Arc Raider. So maybe if you want to check that game out, you can follow me over on Twitch. But I'm on YouTube as well. All that good stuff. Tommy, another great app.
PAX East. It's going to be so much fun. Oh, juice.